Hello everyone, Silent here. Welcome back to another episode of Will It Work, the series where we take Java Edition builds and Console Edition builds and convert them over to Bedrock Edition, Pocket Edition, Better Together, whatever you want to call it. Today we're taking a look at my new and improved Infinite Villager Breeder 2.0. This is a very reliable, simple, cheap, and easy to build villager breeder that will get you a ton of villagers in your world. Especially on Bedrock Edition, you will get a villager about every single minute, which is just insane. So before we do get to the tutorial and the conversion, I'm going to run you guys through some technical bits and just some other things like that, because Better Together is very different with how it handles villagers and villages. And yeah, if you guys do like this series and want to see more tutorials and conversions for Better Together or Bedrock Edition, whatever you want to call it, then be sure to leave a like on the video and maybe subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get to it. So here is the complete breeder that you need to make in your world. It is a 9x9, very simple and cheap. And the one really nice thing about them reverting the mechanics to 1.7 mechanics is that villagers breed about 20 times faster than a giant group of bunnies. Seriously, very quick. You'll get a villager about every minute out of this design. And yeah, that's really good. So I AFK'd at this for about 15 minutes. So let's go to the nether real quick and you'll see how many babies we got in there. And yeah, it should be a good few. Yeah, there we go. That's a good amount of babies. I don't know. I'd say that's about 12 or 13 or so. I don't really know. They're moving too quickly for me to count. You can pause the video and count yourself. That is a lot of baby villagers. So let's go back to the overworld and yeah, you can basically AFK at this for as long as you would like. I would say don't AFK at it for too long, because going to the nether and then loading all of those entities in, all of those baby villagers, could crash your world. So as I'm sure you guys have guessed, this is not a perfect design. I swear, there's literally not a single thing in Better Together that is a perfect design. So the one flaw with this design here is that whenever a new villager is born, the adults both throw potatoes to it if they have excess in their inventory. And that makes it so that it slows down the breeding process a little bit, but they're still way faster than any other version of the game. So this is still a very efficient breeder. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about it. It's not a huge flaw, but that does mean that these guys have potatoes in their inventory, or carrots, or wheat, or beetroots, whatever you're actually using. Doesn't have to be potatoes. Just keep that in mind. These guys will have that stuff in their inventory if you want to use these guys for a villager powered crop farm. Alright, let's finally get to talking about these super odd, quirky, weird, mysterious shenanigan mechanics, because they're quite different. So this might take a second, but after this, we'll finally get to the tutorial and the conversion. So what these guys are doing here is they are detecting how many doors is inside of their area. I don't know how big their area is of detecting doors, but it's very large apparently. And they're counting how many doors there are. How many ever doors there are determines the villager cap for breeding. So right now we have 12 doors down there. That means that our cap is 12 villagers. If you add more doors, then you'll get more available room in your cap. So it is one villager per door. And yeah, that's basically all that there is to that. That is significantly different from how it is on console and Java. Basically how it is on console and Java is they detect that there's one villager down there with the village, which is all those doors, and they're trying to populate the village. So they basically infinitely breed, and you can just stockpile all your guys, like, you know, right here or something, like how we had in the original design. And yeah, you can't really do that with this. You can have them breed and just fill up the cap. That's perfectly fine. You don't really need to send them to the nether, but if you want more than however many doors you have, then you have to send them to the nether. I've tried sending them 100+ blocks away, and they still count towards this village. They still detect this village. I've tried sending them into unloaded chunks, and they still prevent these guys from breeding, which is very mysterious. I don't know if that has to do with render distance. I don't know what that has to do with. I don't know. All I know is that sending them to the nether is a guaranteed way to get them to breed infinitely. So the materials that you need to build this are 2 stacks of any kind of block. Everyone uses glass because it looks nice. You're also going to need a infinite water source, 10 obsidian, and a flint and steel for the nether portal. 6 wooden doors of any kind, 25 dirt, a hoe of any kind, 24 wooden trapdoors of any kind, 3 villagers, some potatoes, some carrots, some seeds or some beetroot seeds to get this thing going, and then 4 light-emitting blocks of any kind. That's sea lanterns, jack-o'-lanterns, glowstone, or torches, whatever suits your fancy. Sea lanterns just look nice. So how do you get your first ever villagers in your world? It's very, very simple. All you gotta do is cure some zombie villagers. And how do you get those guys? You get those guys from zombie spawners pretty commonly. I have a really simple and efficient zombie farm tutorial that will be linked in the upper right now and also down below for your use. And yeah, basically you just get your zombie villagers out of this thing into a cell, throw a splash potion of weakness on them, and then hit them with a golden apple, and then they will turn into a villager for your use. So now it's time to build your breeder, and the first thing that you need to figure out is where are you going to be building it. You want to build this far, far, far away from any other kind of village, wooden doors, villagers, or iron farms, or anything of that sort. So I would say, 200 blocks away at least to be safe, because this is a very weird version and villagers can detect villages from insane distances, which I really don't understand. So what you want to do is make yourself a 5x5 of dirt. This is where all your crops are going to be going, and you can see that it is 5x5 right there. You then want to dig a trench that is 3 blocks wide, or sorry, 3 blocks deep, going all the way around the edges of your little 5x5 right here. Then what you want to do is find out where your nether portal is going to be going. So ours is going to be going in this area right here, and basically just punch out those blocks right there. So you should end up with something that looks like this. Very, very simple so far, right? Now what you want to do is get all of your wooden trapdoors. The layout of these does not matter, but you do need to make sure that all of these are flipped downwards. So we'll do that in a second, and that makes it so that all the baby villagers think that this is a full block and that they can walk over this, and then they try to walk over it and they just fall in your water stream, which is very, very nice and simple. And there you go. So all your wooden trapdoors should be flipped down like that. And again, the layout doesn't matter. So like the corners can be like that. Really doesn't matter. Any way works. So then what you want to do is go to the corner that is opposite of where your nether portal is going to be going. So then, yeah, place a water bucket right there. And then what you want to do is find out where this water stream stops, and then mine 1 block below that. Can I go down, please? Thank you. So mine the block below that, and then just mine it all the way to the corner block over here, and do that on this side as well. And that'll make it so that all your baby villagers just get pushed right into your nether portal. All right, so then from there, what you want to do is place in your walls. These are going to be 2 high walls out of any block of your choice. But most people do use glass because it does look nice, and you just do this going all the way around your farm. Kind of like so. Okay, so now what you want to do is put in another ring of glass inside of the farm above all of your wooden trapdoors, and that keeps your adults from walking outside of the farm. And there you go. That is as simple as that. So you should probably also fill in the corner blocks over here. It's probably not needed. It's probably unnecessary, but just fill in the corners to prevent any form of zombie invasion from getting in there. And yeah, just to protect your villagers. It's only 8 pieces of glass or blocks or whatever. It should not be too big of a deal. Alrighty, so from there, put a roof on top of your farm. It's just a 5x5 of blocks. In the corners, you're going to be placing in your light-emitting blocks, torches or glowstone, or really whatever you like. And that is just to provide light to the crops so that they can grow at nighttime. And you could probably also get away with just 1 in the center like that if you want to save on some resources and just make a dirt cheap one. But yeah, whatever you really like. So far, you should have a build that looks pretty similar to this one right here. Very, very simple so far. So now what you want to do is put in your village and your first villager. So go to the opposite side of where your nether portal is going to be, which is over here. And you want to line it up with the center of the farm and dig 7 blocks down in a 3 wide fashion. So that's 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And then you want to make a 3x3 room down here. So just clear out these blocks right here and then place in 6 doors along with any random villager. Literally any villager will do it. So then up here, you want to make sure that you put glass above this. This does need to be glass or some form of transparent block, slime or something like that would work. And you also need to make sure that this has sky access going all the way up to build limit, as those doors need sunlight for your farm to actually function. So that being said, it's very simple to turn this farm off and make the villagers stop breeding. All you gotta do is put some blocks above this, and that'll block off the sky limit, and that should deregister the farm, or sorry, deregister the village and make it stop breeding. So swing back around to the other side of your farm, and what we're gonna do now is put in our nether portal. So you need to remove these 4 blocks right here, going down by 5 blocks. That's 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then you just need to remove those 2 right there. And then all you do is put in 2 obsidian, and everyone knows how to build a nether portal. So then you don't need these corner blocks up here, like so. And you can also push the nether portal down by 1 if you like, if you don't want to see obsidian on the surface or whatever. So then all you need to do is put a block right there and then light your portal and then remove the block. Because I'm in creative, I can't do that, so I need to light it kind of like so. And then, you know, just fill in those blocks. We'll go to the nether in a second and set that up for receiving villagers. All right, so the farm is nearly complete now. All you got to do now is put in your water on the edges here, kind of like so. Make sure that that is lined up with your center bits, and that's just going to hydrate all of your farmland in the center, and that'll get you 1 extra farmland here. You don't need the water sources on the side. You can put a water source in the center there, and then just cover it in carpets or whatever, but you know, you get a little bit more farmland if you just put the water sources on either side. So then all you do is you till your farmland and then plant it with either potatoes, carrots, wheat, or beetroots. I would highly suggest to not use wheat or beetroots, as if you ever decide that you want to build a crop farm that's powered by villagers, then you're really going to regret ever having beetroots and bread and, you know, wheat and seeds and stuff in these guys' inventories. It's very much a pain. Again, you can use wheat and beetroots in there for their crops, but potatoes and carrots is definitely by far the best. So now it is time to set up the nether, and this is actually pretty simple stuff. I already set it all up, so I'm just gonna run you guys right through it. So when you come through here, if you have AFK'd at all, then there's just gonna be a giant explosion of villagers, and they're all gonna go into a pit of yours. I'm flying, that's why I can't move. So basically, yeah, they're all gonna explode. And that's why you have some guardrails here, and then they're just going to go into a pit, and that's where you're going to store all of your villagers temporarily. If you do decide to come through this portal and not get here via another portal, then you're just going to need some fence posts back here, some carpet on top of them. That makes it so that you can get out, but the villagers can't get out. And then you also want some trap doors on the bottom of the portal right here, so that any villagers stuck in the portal will just walk out eventually. Now, how you get your villagers out of here is just a simple rail system, kind of like this. That'll pick up a villager and then just bring them up here, and then you can take that off to any other nether portal you have, going to your iron farm, your base, your trading hall, really whatever you like. And also, this dispenser right here is a bit of a safety feature, a dispenser with a lava bucket in it with a button, just as an emergency instant way to kill everything in there. You will lose your rails, but whatever. That is in case there are too many villagers in your game decides that it doesn't like it and it gives you 0 FPS and it wants to crash. Better Together cannot handle that many mobs at one time, so this is definitely a good thing to have. Also, if you do fall down this hole, then there's some fence posts over here with some carpet on top. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that you need to know. Just mob-proof this room, and also keep in mind that zombie pigmen do scare villagers, so you can use that to your advantage. Villagers will run away from zombie pigmen, and you can use that for transporting them if you don't have rails, or you can use that for scaring them over to this side so that you can pick them up with your carts, or really whatever you like. Alright, so now that you have your entire nether setup is the simple process of getting your 2 villagers in here. Just use a minecart system, break open the roof, and throw them in here. If they turn one of these things into dirt or something, just till it with your hoe of any kind, and then you'll be good. So one of these guys definitely needs to be a brown coat, a guy like this. Brown coats are shepherds, fletchers, fishermen, or farmers, I believe. So any of those guys in here will do it. As long as they pick up and plant crops, then you're good. And then you need another villager of any kind, and then these 2 should breed. So yeah, then from there, if you want to get this thing kickstarted, just throw a bunch of potatoes or whatever you're using for food in here. They can hold up to 8 stacks each, but you don't want to throw them too many because, again, they'll throw it to the babies. But I'm just going to throw them all of these because I'm in creative and I can do so. So then from there, you should see these guys breed shortly. Now, if they don't breed, then there's a few things that could be wrong. Number one, you could be blocking these doors right here, so double check that. Water and stuff does block sunlight, so double check that there's no water or anything. I don't know. Stuff like that could happen. If they're still not breeding, then try and trade with your villagers. So trade with these two guys up here and trade with the guy down at the doors, and that'll bring up your villager score. Also, never kill villagers. If you need to kill a villager, kill them using a lava bucket, as the game doesn't realize that you killed them. It thinks that's a natural cause. So try and kill these guys using a lava bucket. It's much harder than it actually looks. Jeez, dude, get back here. There we go. It's not actually that easy. So yeah, trade with these guys. Don't kill them with anything besides a lava bucket. Make sure there's no blocks above here, and check for more villagers in your area. If there's too many villagers, then again, these guys won't breed. And if they're still not breeding, add some more doors. If that doesn't work, then you can try removing all the doors, waiting a minute, and then replacing all the doors. There's quite a few things that you can do. If you ever have any problems, questions, or concerns, you can always leave those down in the comment section, and I will try and help you out. And there we go. This thing is working perfectly fine. It turns out I had about 100 villagers in that location, from me getting past the mob cap back on the Xbox One edition. That was fun. As soon as I removed all of those villagers, this thing went right into action, which just goes to show how big of a range the village actually has for detecting villagers. Yeah, quite insane. That's about 150 blocks away or so. And yeah, if they're not breeding, then check the doors, add some more doors. If that's still not working, then of course you can let me know down below, and maybe also check the pinned comment, because Bedrock Edition is always changing. Chances are something has changed, and I will guaranteed let you know in the pinned comment as soon as I know that there's a change to this design or this edition. And yeah, if you did find this design useful and this build useful and getting you villagers in your world, then please do leave a like on the video and share it with your friends, as there are not actually a lot of good designs, or barely any designs at all, for Better Together. And you know, people deserve to see this kind of stuff, because it's hard to find good things for this version, because they don't really exist very much. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you join the silence today by hitting the subscribe button. We would love to have you join our community. And yeah, see you guys down in the comment section and in the next video. Thank you for watching. And then there was silence.